Hey everybody, Pastor Mark here, coming to you from St. Luke and St. John Lutheran churches in central Wisconsin. This video is for December 5th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me for this time, and I'll tell you right now, this time is going to be short, okay? It's going to be pretty quick because I am in a rush. Actually, I'm really behind. That's the problem. I'll talk about that in a little bit later here. But I'm going to put a slide up here now so that you can see the readings for this week. And then I'm going to put the prayers for this week as well. In fact, I'll probably flip those two slides, put the prayers first, then the readings. So please go through those, okay? And then we'll continue this here because this is all I'm doing. Because, again, I'm way behind and I'm rushing to get this thing out to you in time in the hopes that it will be worthwhile. So go ahead and look at the prayers, please, and say those, and then do the readings, read through those, and then I'll come back here and talk really fast because, again, I'm in a rush. And here we are, back here again, still talking fast, still behind, in fact, maybe a little further behind. Okay, so here's the thing. This week is just crazy busy, or it has been the last several days. I've had stuff every night this week. I've had a couple extra long meetings during the day that filled some time up. We had all these other events that went on. I had a funeral in our church this week. And just so many different things that happened, many things that were not planned, that weren't on the schedule, and it just got, well, out of my control. And so I am doing this video, as I say, really quickly so I can get it done and get it out in time here. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it. And, well, all of this feeds into the whole point of the message today, okay? Now, first of all, let me just say that talking about how busy I've been and how I'm behind and all these other things, I'm not sharing that so that it sounds like, oh, look how hard I work or poor me or anything like that. No, I'm sharing that because that's been my week, but also because I know it has been your week sometimes as well. What I mean is, you know what it's like to be crazy busy. You know what it's like to be overwhelmed with all these different things that are coming at you, whether it's just really a full schedule or a full schedule with a lot of emotional turmoil, maybe some unexpected, some unpleasant things. You know what I'm talking about. When it just seems as if things are coming so fast and there's so much of it that it's hard to keep on track. It's hard to keep focused on the things that you need to do. And it's just hard. You know what that's like. Now, this week is the second week in Advent, and I'm so crazy busy that I don't even have the little Advent calendar thing, or the Advent wreath, I should say, the candles thing that I used last week. I meant to have it every week for these videos, and so today I don't have it, okay? I don't have the candles ready or anything. Again, kind of how the week's been going. But that's, frankly, not all that important. Ultimately, I mean, I like to use it. It's kind of a cool visual, but the point is God's Word. The point is the message here. And that's what I want you to take away from all this. As I say, you know what it's like to be overwhelmingly busy. You know what it's like to have just so many things crushing in on you. And you probably know what it's like then to lose focus and lose the things that you should prioritize. You know, things like sleep, okay? Or eating properly and eating at the right time of day rather than just grabbing a quick meal late at night or whenever you can or however it works for you. Again, you know what that's like. We've all been there. Maybe some of you are going through it right now. Or maybe some of you might be going through it soon because after all, Christmas is coming really fast, just weeks away. Now, I don't share that with you to make you panic or anything, but probably some of us are. Some of us are going to be crazy busy for the next several weeks. What I want you to focus on is, well, focusing. That is prioritizing the things that are most important. Don't forget the things that you need to do that are vital for your good health, your bodily health, your spiritual health. Don't forget your Lord in all of this, especially as we're in this season of Christmas busyness, as we're in this time of overwhelming schedules, as we're in this time of, well, for some people, a lot of anxiety and even a lot of grief, because I know many of you are going through difficult times right now. So what I want us to take away from this is don't get so busy that you lose what's important, that you lose that focus on Christ, that focus on the love that God has for you. See, that's the thing. When we're running and going so fast and so hard, it's so easy to forget that we are God's children, God's beloved children. It's so easy to forget that we're forgiven and that we have the gift of peace in the midst of all the crazy. We have the gift of hope in the midst of, well, a lot of grief. We have the gift of God's presence with us in all things. And we don't want to lose that. We don't want to forget that. Again, it's really easy to do when we're just going so quickly and so harsh and so much is happening. The readings for today, well, they cover a whole lot of things, but the business about John the Baptist and the people that came to talk to him. And he has some, I guess you might say, some tough love for them. He calls them names even. But his whole thing is that they need to wake up to what's really important. And when they ask him, well, what should we do? And he talks to the different people in their occupations. He talks to the tax collectors. And, don't take more money than you're supposed to. Talks to the soldiers. Don't bully people, essentially, is what he says there. And it's just the idea of do your job honorably. Treat people the way you're supposed to treat them. Treat people the way God treats you, that is with love and kindness. And again, when we're crazy busy, when things are going so fast and so hard, or maybe when we're just overwhelmed with sadness or anxiety, whatever it is, it's easy to lose that priority of loving other people too. It's easy to maybe do some things that we shouldn't. Maybe not do our jobs so honorably. Maybe not treat other people with kindness. It's easy to lose that when we've got so much coming at us. So again, don't forget who you are. That is God's beloved child. Don't forget that God is with you always. Don't forget that you are loved and forgiven. Don't forget that in the middle of all this craziness, don't forget to take time for the things that are important. Take care of your physical self. Take care of your heart as well. That is, pray to your God daily, regularly throughout the day. Read his word, even if it's just for a few minutes when you're having maybe some morning coffee or over lunch or whatever, but take some time to read in God's word about what he does for you, about how much he loves you, and about how he is with you. Yes, in the middle of all of this, keep your focus. Keep your priorities right. Do the things that you need to do, because you are God's beloved child, his beautiful and wonderful creation. And taking care of yourself is really important. Sharing God's love with others is really important. And remembering that you have a God who is with you always, and praying to him and receiving his gifts in his word, it's really important. So, my friends, try to relax. I don't know what your week has been like. I don't know what your weeks and days coming up are going to be like. But I expect that at some point you're going to be challenged with the busyness of life. That you're going to feel that sense of being overwhelmed with all that's coming at you. That you might be overcome by grief and sadness. So in the middle of that, stop. Take some time to focus on what's important and realize that you are God's priority. Enjoy that, my friends. Many blessings to you this week. Hopefully next week things will settle down and I'll be able to do the video the way I wanted to with the candles and all the bright stuff. Hopefully we'll have some time, but however that works out, we know that God will be with us through all of it. Thanks for watching, my friends. God's peace be to you all.